Let's rock! The goal is not to break even. I know it sounds weird. Like, if you're a trader and, if you get into a bad trade, the first thing you look at is, well, if I could just break even, get out of this damn thing, if I could just get out of this trade, somebody help me. Can this thing just go back up just a little bit so I can just get my money back and maybe I'll take another trade after that? But damn, I hate seeing my account in red. I cannot stand it. And the moment it goes red, what do? I jump out. I jump out because I know if I don't jump out, well, guess what they teach you everywhere else? Well, cut your losses right the fuck away. Cut them, cut them, cut them, cut them. Okay, so you cut the loss. In the next 3 hours, you're sitting there. Holy shit. Why did I get out of this trade? Oh my God, if I didn't get out of this trade, look at all the money I would be making. Okay, it all boils down to, on this one very easy psychological aspect, is your goal is not to break even on the trade. Most of the new guys that are coming in the business, they seem to think that, wow, there is a magic formula that's just like going to make me profitable every time I get into a fucking trade. It doesn't exist. What makes you a bulletproof trader is the times where you understand when it's actually the time to persevere a trade that's going wrong, that's actually going red, because you can read the market conditions quite clearly in many instances to understand that this move is temporarily. Maybe you have miscalculated your entry by just a little bit. Guys, the stocks that we suggest for trading weekly options, they're highly volatile. So maybe you've been listening to some other channels, or maybe you've taken some bullshit courses somewhere else and they were telling you, well, set a stop loss. Well, damn it. On weekly options, you can't be setting no stop losses. Hold on. Leonardo, did you just say you're not setting stop losses? Damn right. Why would you set a stop loss on a winning trade just to collect a fucking loss? Well, I didn't think about that before, Leonardo, but now that you bring that to my attention, maybe bullshit. You're not thinking that. I'm telling you, it's time that you start thinking that, because chances are, if you go back over the last 2 years and you look at all the trades that you have actually taken action on, if you had a stop limit, if you had a stop loss set on those trades, chances are you got kicked out of a highly profitable trade in the majority of instances because you were afraid to let the loss run just a little bit higher. What do you set your losses at? 5%, 7%? Well, fucking good luck with that shit, because trading weekly options, you will get taken out. Your options pricing is going to vary by as much as 50, 70%. It doesn't make it a bad trade, just make it a bad entry. So how many trades have you taken that were actually a good trade with a poor entry? And how would you actually know the difference? If your only judgment is to look at your P&L, oh my God, it's red, I got to get the fuck out. And good luck with that strategy. You will never, ever nail a 10x trade, 20x trade, 30x trade, because your strategy would be the same. Oh my God, I'm green. Let's collect the fucking gains. I'm up $100. Fuck that. With that sort of mentality, guys, you shouldn't even fucking trade. You're not in this game to just break even or to make $100. Okay? Stick with the strategy. Now, hold on. I'll say this: if your strategy is to make $100 and you're getting out, I mean, you may want to consider some other strategies. Making $100 is not going to make you any real money. Fucking the cost of milk soon is going to be $100. What are you going to do with that shit? Let's get real here. Inflation is getting out of control. It's not going to get better anytime soon. You'd better set some better targets on your trading outcomes. And you'd better know when to understand when to cut your losses and when not to. So, most of the people, the moment they see the trade turns red, they only have so much tolerance. And that tolerance comes with, well, if I put $1,000 in the trade and now I'm minus 500, oh my God, I better cut the losses now because it could go down to a zero. That's exactly the worst possible time in certain instances where you could be cutting your trade because that very same trade could be going to $5,000. From 500 to 5,000, I've shown you guys many times over the last few years on this channel. Now, if you cut in the trade because you're looking at your P&L, you will never beat the market, and that's a fact. Now, if you miscalculated your entry on a high-flying stock that is highly volatile, yeah, your option prices could be changing by as much as, 30, 50, 70% at times, and you could still lock a 5x, 10x, 15x trade if you just stay with the move. Now, if you don't know the move, clearly you're not going to be able to do so. So, point number 2 here goes to the guys that are like, well, I've been trading for a few years, I'm down a lot, and if I could just get all my losses back, I would just stop trading. I would just say, hell with it, I'm done. Guys, you cannot trade the market tomorrow with such mentality because you will get killed. Your trading account will get killed. This is a loser's mentality. You got to get rid of this shit right now. Okay, just think about what you're really saying to yourself. Stop trading? I mean, seriously, if you can get all your losses back from the last few years, you would stop trading? Seriously? That's your fucking goal, is to stop trading? If that's your fucking goal, you should stop trading right now. Right now. Fucking close your account, transfer the money back to your checking account, and be done. That's not a reason to be trading. You want to trade tomorrow, so ultimately your goal would be to stop trading. Fuck that. How ridiculous is this? So, again, your goal is not to break even. You shouldn't be doing anything just to break even. If you're losing, just fucking stop it. If you can't handle it. If you don't know what your plan is. Okay? Most of the traders say, I'll cut the losing trade now so I can trade another day. So most of the guys, now that would be exact opposite of point number 2 here. Most of the guys, they don't want to stop trading. What they are really worried about is the fact that they are not going to be able to trade another day. And so if they are to a point where, the account is dwindling down and they're faced with a decision, I got to cut this trade, I'm not going to have any more money to trade tomorrow. Okay, obviously, they're cutting what appears to be a losing trade at that very moment. But is it really a losing trade? Well, the next morning they wake up and what happens? Holy fuck. I should have never, ever gotten out of the trade. What the hell was I thinking? See, it's the pressure. The market is going to put pressure on you, whether you like it or not. It's going to put pressure on you every damn day. So it's only the way you react to it and how you acknowledge whether the loss is ripe for the taking or whether you should pursue and hand in, maybe even add to the position. Okay, that's what's going to help you conquer the market. But if you don't have a solid plan, like if you're getting into your trades just because oh my God, the market is going green today, let me buy calls. Okay, and by the end of the day, shit is red. And now you're like, whoa, man, don't look that green no more. So, you can't just be looking at the price action. That's the whole main point here. You can't look at the price action and say, well, God, it's green, I should be buying calls. Or, oh, everything's collapsing, I should be buying puts. No, by that point, it's too late to be buying puts because they're overpriced. The market is against you. The odds are against you. You don't want to be buying puts when the market is crashing. You got to get way ahead of that move. Okay, so the whole point of this slide, guys, is this. Your mentality as a trader is going to take you to a point where if you have taken a losing trade, you're going to want to jump out at a break-even point. Okay? And a lot of times it's going to be just about the trade is actually going to be a producing trade for you. Producing trade meaning it's going to make you solid money. Okay, 50%, 100%, 200% returns. I'm referring to weekly options, that is. I mean, a quick example is, look, we got in on mRNA calls the other week, and they made, over 700%. Yesterday, I sent out an alert to buy mRNA calls, BNTX calls, and, the trade instantly went south, meaning like the trade went against us. But today, if you actually hand in and you studied the move, the trade was highly positive. It was in the green. So you have to understand, okay, did I just miscalculate the entry by a little bit? Maybe by a few trading hours. Okay, it still makes it for a good trade. So there's no reason you should be breaking even. Bottom line, you shouldn't be trading if your goal is to simply break even. That's not why you got into trading. You got into trading to make money, didn't you? So why the hell you should just be looking out, oh my God, if I could just break even, I should be getting the hell out. No. Why did you get into a trade to begin with? I promise you, it was like, oh, let me take this trade so I can break even. Oh yeah, baby, let's go. Hell no. No. If you knew that within the next few hours, your only outcome of taking the trade was to break even, would you even take the damn trade? The answer is no. So get your goals right. Okay, this slide is about letting you understand that you cannot let your emotions take the winning trades from you. Meaning, you cannot just look at your P&L and when it goes red, you jump out. Okay, the other day we were bullish on BIBA, and after we got into it, the stock actually gapped down. Monday, yesterday, gapped down. And if you would have jumped out, you would have had a loss. But if you stayed with the trade till today, it would have been a very nice trade. It would have been a highly, highly profitable trade for you. But the question is, did you see the stock gap down? You just got freaked out. You're like, oh my God, it's going lower. Fuck, let me cut the... Guys, you have to stick to your strategy. Okay, if you're bullish on something, you have your calculations and you have your move figured out, stay with the move. Staying with the move, once you take a position, is going to make you money in more instances than it will lose you money. Now, clearly, if you don't understand the moves, then that's a whole nother situation, and you should be learning. So, out of the last few minutes I've been talking, the most important thing to reflect on is this. Okay, don't settle in life. All right, the whole subject that I've just been discussing, if you're a man, you should be able to understand that. There is a hot, absolutely drop dead gorgeous girl walking into a coffee shop, and you're looking at her and you'll be like, wow, look at her. I want to get this girl. And then you're just like, well, but I don't know. I'm not sure, man. This girl probably ain't even gonna talk to me. What? This girl's probably married already. This girl's probably this is probably that, probably whatever. And then her friend walks in next. Now, she's not a 10 like the first girl that just walked into the coffee shop. She's more like a 7 or a 6. And you're like, well, man, this one still looks pretty good. But, I mean, chances are, if I just say hi to her, I mean, I'd definitely get some going here. And so that's the mentality. Okay, when you're trying to break even on a trade, if your trade was well calculated ahead of time, all you're trying to do is settle. You're trying to settle for nothing. You're trying to settle for something you don't even want. You're trying to settle for something instead of getting what you really want. And what you really want in trading is a highly profitable trade. And by cutting your losses at a break-even point, oftentimes you will cause yourself not to get the girl that's walking into a coffee shop that is rightfully yours just because you're fucking scared. So put the fear aside. The next time she's walking into that coffee shop, you get off your ass, you walk up to her, and you say, "Hi, my name is." And that's all it's going to take. Okay, just face your fears, get off your ass, and make it happen. So don't settle in life, because if you're going to keep thinking, well, if I just make a few $100s here, it'd be okay. The trade could have made you a few thousand. Sometimes that same trade could have made you tens of thousands of dollars, but you were already out. You were out. You were out because you were trying to settle. You were trying to settle for breaking even. You were trying to settle in life. And this is the trait that you notice about yourself. You gotta change things right now. Because the moment you settle in life, you lose. Because the moment you settle in life, okay, the stuff that you settle for and the stuff that you didn't get that you really want, it keeps chasing you for the rest of your life. And you keep sitting there thinking, well, what if I walked up to that girl that was a 10? What if I didn't talk to her friend that was a 7? What if I actually didn't cut my losses at a break even? What if I actually stayed with that trade and stayed firm and strong, okay? And I got my account from 3K to 30K. How would the rest of my outcome for this year would be? Okay, don't sit there and wonder. Next time, I dare you not to get scared out of a good trade just to break even, just to settle. You didn't take a trade initially to settle, so why should you be settling just because the trade went negative and now it's breaking even? So what I want you to do instead is start focusing on the right things. When we're talking about trading, the right things are staying true to your strategy. Okay, don't change your strategy just because the market is changing every day. It could be going up, down, up, down. It could be changing all the fucking time. So if you keep changing your strategy based off what the market did today, okay, unfortunately, you will lose. But if you pick a strategy such as 13 market moves and you stay with it every single time, you actually have a chance to beat the market. And the second thing you would need to focus from that point, once you pick a solid strategy each and every time, is to understand what makes your entries better, what makes your exits better. And that comes through understanding charts and patterns recognition and the divergences. So you got 1 and 2 under your belt, guys, your account is going to look a whole lot better, I promise you. And number 3 is something I've been preaching for years, guys, is stop listening to the news. There's nothing wrong with listening to the news just to understand what the general consensus is, because normally general consensus is not what's going to make you the money. So understanding what the general consensus is, especially if it's highly elevated in certain market conditions to the point where it makes sense to actually bet against the general consensus, that's what could make you a ton of money. Okay, but stop listening to the news. Start making your own opinion on the market. And your opinion can be unshakable despite of the news. The guy that's just breaking even in the trade because he just listened to some news or CNBC or Bloomberg. Oh, well, they're talking about this. Oh my God, I better cut my losses. Oh, I'm breaking even. Let me get out. Okay, that guy is being influenced by the news, not the data, not the charts. Okay, listening to the news is not a strategy. Please understand that. So if you want to be a successful trader, here's a quick tip. Start looking at 50 charts a day. 50 charts a day. Now, if you don't have 50 stocks or 50 markets on your list, okay, That's where you should be starting right now. You should be scheduling a coaching call right here with 13 Market Moves by clicking the link below. Just go to 13marketmoves.com or 13mmtv.com. Get that scheduled now. Because if you don't have 50 charts to look at, or maybe you have 50 charts to look at, but you don't know what the hell to look at, guys, that would be a starting point to change the outcome of your trading account. So stop listening to the news and focus on the charts. That's the message of the day. Stay true to yourself and your strategy. Focus on better entries and exits. Stop listening to the news and focus on the charts. If you're not sure exactly how to do that, get 13 Market Moves to help you with it. 13marketmoves.com. Let's roll. I'll catch you guys on the next video soon. Make it happen.